You know that feeling when you're expecting to be underwhelmed and then something surprises you? That's exactly what happened with the Infinix XPAD 4G LTE. Coming from the sleek world of the iPad Pro and Apple Silicon, I'll be honest, I approached this budget tablet with more than a little skepticism. The first day, I was almost ready to write this thing off. But then something clicked and I realized I've been looking at it all wrong. This isn't just another iPad wannabe. The XPAD 4G is its own beast, and once I understood that, I couldn't put it down. From its surprising premium feel, this is plastic by the way, to its AI assistant that had me questioning my need for Siri, this tablet kept throwing curveballs at my expectations.
You say what balls?
Curveballs. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to break down why the Infinix XPAD 4G isn't just another budget tablet, but potentially a game changer in its category. Whether you're a student on a tight budget or a busy professional looking for a secondary device, or just someone who loves a good tech bargain, trust me, you're going to want to hear this. This is one of those devices that reminded me never to judge a book by its cover or a tablet by its price tag. And so, without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. The Infinix XPAD 4G comes packed with the goodies that you usually wouldn't expect at this price point, like a free case and even a screen protector pre-applied. You'll also find a pair of earphones, a USB-C cable, and an 18-watt charger. But don't let these extras fool you. This isn't just about what's in the box, it's about what the XPAD can actually do once you start using it. So let's talk about the first impressions here. The design is surprisingly premium for the price. I mean, look at the finish here. You also can get different colors such as the Titan Gold, Frost Blue, and the Stellar Grey. I mean, each with their own personality. And the pattern on the back here, it's subtle, but it gives this XPAD a touch of class and stands out in the budget segment. But how does it feel in the hand? Now, this is about 483 grams and it's solid without being too heavy, perfect for long-term use. The plastic unibody design gives a premium feel that you wouldn't expect at this price point. Now let's talk about the display here, which is a critical factor for any tablet. The Infinix XPAD 4G sports an 11-inch 90Hz 1080p IPS LCD display. No HDR support, but here's the kicker. Despite its limitations, the screen is incredibly vibrant and smooth. The resolution here is actually 1200 by 1920, which is great for the price, and watching movies on this thing is really good, especially when I tested Netflix. But how does this compare to something like, say, the iPad Pro? Well, the XPAD holds its own in a lot of ways. Sure, the iPad might have a slight edge with HDR and the overall color accuracy, but for regular users here, the difference isn't as noticeable as you might think, especially when you consider the price gap. One thing to note here is, while this display is great for indoors, it might struggle a little bit in outdoor conditions. The peak brightness, which is a little over 400 nits, is decent but not the brightest out there. Now let's talk about the audio here. The XPAD comes with 4 stereo speakers, 2 at the bottom and 2 at the top. They're impressively loud and clear, making this tablet excellent for media consumption. There's also this 3.5mm jack port here for your audio connections and headphones, which is becoming increasingly rare these days, so kudos to Infinix for keeping it in. Now here's where things get really interesting. The battery life here is one of the most important aspects of this tablet, especially when you're using this on the go. The XPAD boasts of a 7000 mAh battery, but how does this translate into a real-world use? In my test, I found that with moderate use here, think of a mix of YouTube, web browsing, and a little bit of gaming, the XPAD lasted a solid 2 days on a single charge, and on standby, it lost about 11% over 24 hours, which is quite impressive. Now, the charger here might take a little while to fully juice this up, about 2 hours and 50 minutes from 0 to 100, but once it's charged, you'll be good to go for a few days, maybe 2 days actually. Now you can get about 10 hours of screen on time continuous streaming before needing to recharge this tablet. And by the way, that charging sound, it's oddly satisfying for me. A little detail here, but it's the kind of thing that makes me smile every time I plug in this tablet. Under the hood, the Infinix XPAD 4G is powered by the MediaTek Helio G99 chipset paired with up to 8 gigs of RAM. On paper, that's decent, but in practice, it's actually better than you'd expect. Whether you're multitasking, playing some light games, or even pushing this thing with demanding apps, the XPAD handles it all without breaking a sweat. And for the gamers out there, this thing can run Call of Duty Mobile without any major hiccups. Just make sure you get the 8 gigs version for the best experience. It runs at medium graphics and high frame rates. PUBG on the other hand can even run at ultra frame rates with balanced graphics settings. You might not think of a budget tablet as a gaming device, but this one here might just surprise you. This tablet also supports split screen functionality, allowing you to use two apps side by side on this display. It's great for multitasking, although it's limited to just two apps on the screen at a time. I also noticed that not all apps could allow that split screen functionality. You can watch, say, Netflix movie and also do something else side by side. If you're loving this video so far, click on the like button and also do not forget to subscribe if you're new here. That helps us a bunch. Thank you. The XPAD runs on Android 14 and XOS 14, which is Infinix's skin on Android. However, it feels more like stock Android, which is a refreshing change. There's virtually no bloatware, maybe a handful, which is a big plus for this tablet. One of the standout features is Folax, Infinix's AI-powered voice assistant. It's integrated with ChatGPT, allowing you to do more than just the basic voice commands. You can also ask it to write essays for you, explain complex topics, or even help you do research with this tablet. It's a step above the traditional voice assistants, although it doesn't have access to real-time data like Google or Siri would have. Infinix has also promised 2 years of software updates, which is reassuring for people getting this device. While cameras are not usually a priority on tablets, the XPAD here comes with 8 megapixel sensors on both the front and the back cameras. They're adequate for video calls and quick snapshots in good lighting conditions, but that's not the major thing or reason to get this tablet. Another thing to note here is that this tablet doesn't come with a stylus, but it's compatible with the universal styluses out there. There's no pressure sensitivity though here, so this is not ideal for an artist to draw things on this tablet. One accessory worth mentioning is the optional keyboard. While it doesn't come with the tablet, it's a great addition if you plan to use the XPAD for productivity. The typing experience here is surprisingly good if you ask me, making it a viable option for document creation and lengthy typing sessions. Honestly, this keyboard had a better experience than what I had on my Apple Silicon iPad Pro, the 11-inch version here. It felt like a full-size keyboard, unlike the iPad's keyboard here, and I could type really fast with this one. So in the budget market today, the XPAD 4G holds its own against competitors like the Redmi Pad SE. It offers similar display specs but edges out with its LTE capability. That's in the higher end model. There's also the lower Wi-Fi variant that might not be as powerful as this one because it comes with smaller RAM configuration and storage option. And that one is actually cheaper. So the big question here is, for the starting price of 251,800 Naira for the Wi-Fi version or 283,000 Naira for this 4G LTE version, is this Infinix XPAD worth your money? If you're looking for a budget-friendly tablet that doesn't skimp on the essentials, this could be your perfect match. It's not trying to be an iPad, and that is strength. It's for the everyday user who wants a reliable performance, decent media capabilities, and a battery life that won't leave you hanging. So for the pros here, you get solid battery life, decent display, budget price, and no annoying bloatware. You also get quad speakers, an AI assistant named Folax, and also the optional keyboard, as these are big pluses with this device. But the cons here are no HDR, outdoor visibility could be better, and while charging capacity here is large, it's not the fastest charger you get out of the box, and the lack of fingerprint sensor or face unlock feature might be a downside for some. If you're intrigued by this video, you definitely would love to watch this one here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cuidado.